Exclusive contract novel from Feilu Novel Network. After the victory of the anti-Japanese war, I became a warlord in the Golden Triangle. In 1942, retired soldier Su Tian crossed over and became a small soldier in the 58th Division of the 74th Army of the Yunnan Army, activating the Red Alert base system. In 1943, Su Tian accompanied the 58th Division as an expeditionary force to Burma, bridging the lifeline of aid. As a traveler, Su Tian understood the development of history and fought for different factions. In addition, he was well aware that as a member of the Yunnan Army, even if there were uprisings on the battlefield, he would not escape the turmoil for 10 years. Su Tian decided to leave himself a way out and built a Red Police base in the Golden Triangle. In 1945, after the victory of the anti-Japanese war, Su Tian, who had become the commander of the 58th Division, led his troops to become warlords and kings in the Golden Triangle. At this time, the Golden Triangle had already undergone earth-shattering changes. In 1946, Southeast Asian countries sparked a wave of independence, and Su Tian occupied the Golden Triangle to declare independence and declared himself emperor. He began to expand his territory, and a huge entity rose from the ground. Bald. Help me, Emperor Su. Mao Xiongua. Did you dissolve my alliance? Eagle sauce. Fuck, this is the great power. Empire without sunset. My colonies have become territories of Su Tian. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. After the victory of the anti-Japanese war, I became a division commander, New. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Huaxia, this is a country full of disasters and difficulties, but it will never be defeated. The Qing dynasty was weak and weak. Bullying by foreign powers. The establishment of the Republic of China. Warlord melee. In modern times, this is a turbulent and unstable era. On September 8, 1931, the invading army of the Little Devils stationed in northeast China, the Guangdong Army, bombed a section of railway tracks near Liutiao Lake in northern Shenyang, falsely accusing the Northeast Army of damaging the railway. They used this as an excuse to suddenly attack the Northeast Army's headquarters in Beiding and Shenyang City. After the incident, the Northeast Army implemented a non-resistance policy and retreated without fighting against more than 10,000 Japanese troops. On the morning of the 19th, the Little Devils occupied Shenyang City. Within just over 4 months thereafter, all 1.28 million square kilometers of northeast China fell, marking the beginning of local anti-fascist operations. On the night of July 7, 1937, the Little Devils stationed at Lugo Bridge, without notifying the local authorities, conducted so-called military exercises near the station positions and falsely claimed that a Japanese soldier was missing. They requested to enter Wanping County in the southwest of Beiping for a search, but were sternly refused by the local garrison. The Japanese army immediately launched an attack on Wanping City and Lugo Bridge. The 219th Regiment of the 37th Division of the 29th Army rose up to counterattack and engaged in stubborn resistance. The July 7 incident opened the prelude to the national anti-Japanese war. On September 1, 1939, the German Empire dispatched 58 divisions, 2,800 tanks, 2,000 planes, and 6,000 cannons to launch a lightning attack on Poland, occupy the entire Poland in less than a month. This event is seen as a symbol of the full-scale outbreak of World War II. On August 8 and 9, 1945, representatives of the Supreme Command of the German Empire and representatives of the Soviet Union, the United States, Britain, and France signed the unconditional surrender, marking the official surrender of the German Empire, which had launched World War II. On August 15, 1945, at noon, the Emperor of the Little Devils broadcasted to all the Little Devils, accepting the Potsdam Proclamation and implementing unconditional surrender, ending the war. On the morning of September 2, 1945, at 9 o'clock, the signing ceremony of Japan's surrender, which marked the end of World War II, was held on the main deck of the USS Missouri anchored in Tokyo Bay. On the morning of September 9, 1945, the surrender ceremony of the Huaxia Theater Command was held in the auditorium of the Jinling Central Military Academy on October 25. Little Devil conducted a surrender ceremony while reporting. This also means that the war of resistance against Japan has achieved complete victory. The Little Devils have surrendered, the whole country is celebrating. Finally, we have expelled the Japanese aggressors. Decorate with lanterns and colorful decorations. Celebrating each other with bullets and crowns. Celebrate the arrival of this day. Yunnan Province. On October 3, 1945, the Central Army stationed in Kunming occupied Mount Wuhua, and Long Yun stepped down. His positions as the commander of the Kunming garrison and the director of the Yunnan Guizhou Pacification Office were also revoked. Lu Han served as the provincial chairman and security commander, and established the Yunnan Provincial Garrison Headquarters to unify the command of the Yunnan Army, Constitution, Police, and Special Armed Forces. The Yunnan Army was a very important force in the anti-Japanese war. The Jian Army was a general term for the Yunnan Provincial Army led mainly by Kai Yi and others during the Republic of China period. A relatively independent army formed, commanded, and armed by local power factions in Yunnan Province. Its predecessor was the Yindian New Army, which was established in the 34th year of the Guangxu reign, 1908, as the Army 19 Town. In 1927, Long Yun became the leader of the Jian clique warlords. The Yunnan Army has long ruled Yunnan and Yunnan provinces, continuously expanding into Sichuan, Guizhou, Guangxi and other provinces, and once dominated several southwestern provinces. Played a special role in many modern wars, especially during the War of Resistance against Japan. The War of Resistance against Japanese aggression began, and the Yunnan Army sent troops to resist the war. The Yunnan Army possessed French-style military equipment and had a strong military appearance, which was inferior to the Central Army. Compared to this Yunnan Army, the Central Army seemed to have a weaker military appearance. The Yunnan Army participated in the battles of Taierzwang, Wuhan, Changsha, Ganbei, and southern Yunnan. At this point, the time came to October 6, 1945. The 74th Army of the Yunnan Army is the headquarters of the 58th Division. Teacher Su Tian sat in the teacher's office, with a solemn expression and a complex expression, looking thoughtful. The 74th Army of the Yunnan Army is not simple. With the title of Anti-Japanese Iron Army, the army was formed by the 51st and 58th Divisions after the outbreak of the Anti-Japanese War. The predecessor of the 51st Division was the 16th Army of the Northern Expedition led by Fan Shisheng, a famous general from Eshan in Yunnan. The predecessor of the 58th Division was the National Government Guard Army led by Zhu Paid, a member of the Jian Army from Lufeng. The army has repeatedly made military achievements in the anti-Japanese battlefield and has become one of the 5 main forces of the Central Army, with very strong combat effectiveness. The 58th Division, where Su Tian was stationed, also fought fiercely on the anti-Japanese battlefield, becoming a fearless, brave and skilled unit for the Little Devils. But no one knows that Su Tian is actually a traveler. P.S. Old War New Book. The previous Golden Triangle was written too conservatively, too afraid of hands and feet. This won't happen anymore. It's absolutely exciting and thrilling, dominating Southeast Asia. New book upload. Kneel down for support, ask for a flower, a review ticket, a monthly pass, a broken egg reward, and if there are any updates, keep your promises. Chapter 2. Expeditionary Operations. I am creating a red in the Golden Triangle. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In 1942, as a retired soldier, Su Tianyi crossed over and became a soldier of the Yunnan Army, unexpectedly activating the Red Alert base system. After a simple understanding, Su Tian understood the role and capabilities of this black technology system. The Red Alert base system is actually very simple, which is achieved by killing enemies or expanding the system. The system will automatically explode troops, equipment, and skills, even strategic resources, military equipment, and military industry, which are extremely important for the anti-Japanese war, can be exploded in the Red Police Base. For the game Red Alert Base, Su Tian has played it before. Having such a super system, Su Tian is also passionate about it. In addition, due to his innate hatred towards the Little Devils, he carried out a great killing during the anti-Japanese period, and was promoted directly from a soldier to the commander of the 74th Army's main division. Starting from June 1943, Su Tian's 58th Division participated in the Second Expedition as a supplementary force. During the War of Resistance against Japan, at the request of Great Britain and allied countries such as Eagle Sauce, starting from December 1941, the nationalist government formed an expeditionary force. The expeditionary force officially entered Myanmar for combat. In fact, the expeditionary force conducted 2 expeditions in total. The first expedition began on December 23, 1941 and ended in June 1942, with the failure of the first expedition. The second expedition began in July 1942 and was successfully completed in March 1945 after the expeditionary forces met with the Empire of Sunset. Su Tian's 58th Division participated in the second expedition. With the support of the Red Alert Base system, the 58th Division also launched a massive attack in Myanmar and defeated the Little Devils. At the same time, relying on this expedition operation, Su Tian began to leave a way for himself, which was to build a Red Police Base in the Golden Triangle. As a traveler, Su Tian had a clear understanding of the historical development after the anti-Japanese war. Even if he rebelled and defected to the 8th Route Army, he may not survive the tumultuous decade as he crossed over to become the Yunnan Army. Therefore, Su Tian had already planned his future path, that is to build a Red Police Base in the Golden Triangle and build his own strength. After the end of the anti-Japanese war, Su Tian plans to come to the Golden Triangle to become a warlord and dominate, which is completely without any problem. As a traveler, Su Wen naturally knows very well about the Golden Triangle. The Golden Triangle region is located at the border of Myanmar, Laos, and Siam, mainly composed of interlocking mountains and rivers. This area covers an area of approximately 350,000 square kilometers and has an estimated population of around 200,000. It is bounded by the Indian Mountains to the west, the Annan Mountains to the east, the Mekong River to the south, and Yunnan Province to the north. The climate in the Golden Triangle region is hot and humid, with abundant rainfall in summer and dry and less rainfall in winter. The mountainous areas here are dense, with most areas reaching an altitude of over 1,000 meters. The transportation is inconvenient, and many places can only be crossed by walking or riding horses, which also provides convenience for opium drug production and trafficking. So since the early 20th century, the Golden Triangle has become a production base for drugs and opium. The Golden Triangle of drug production and trafficking is known for its production and trafficking of drugs, especially opium, heroin, and methamphetamine. The drug trade and circulation area here is vast, and its influence even extends to various parts of the world. According to Su Tian's understanding, in the future, the Golden Triangle region will account for over 90% of global opium production. The drug traffickers here mainly transport drugs through the Mekong River, land, and air. The channels and methods of drug circulation are diverse and difficult to crack down on. Behind drug trafficking activities are powerful drug trading groups and gangs, who can not only influence local governments and police departments, but also confront international crackdowns. The entire Golden Triangle is dominated by warlords. So starting from 1943, Su Tian began secretly developing the Golden Triangle, unifying the entire Golden Triangle and eliminating other warlords and forces. Build the Golden Triangle into your own territory. In other words, the Golden Triangle now belongs to Su Tian. It is worth mentioning that due to the closed geographical location of the Golden Triangle and the blockade orders from Su Tian, even by 1945, the outside world did not have much understanding of the situation in the Golden Triangle. Many people's impression of the Golden Triangle is that it is remote in mountainous areas, with complex power and rampant opium. But they didn't know that after Su Tian built the Red Alert Base in the Golden Triangle, the entire Golden Triangle underwent tremendous changes. Now that the anti-Japanese war has ended, it means it's time for Su Tian to leave. P.S. Old War New Book. The previous Golden Triangle was written too conservatively, too afraid of hands and feet. This is amazing, absolutely exciting, dominating Southeast Asia, it's like the Pacific. New book upload, kneel down for support, ask for a flower, a review ticket, a monthly pass, a broken egg reward, and if there are any updates, keep your promises. Chapter 3. Glorious Achievements in History. You made me serve in the army. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Thanks to the Red Alert base system, Su Tian went from a soldier to the current commander of the 58th Division, and by killing enemies and devils, Su Tian also built a very powerful Red Alert base in the Golden Triangle. After all, killing enemies and expanding territory can enhance the Red Alert base, obtain more resources, skills, and violent soldiers, and so on. So under Su Tian's creation, the Golden Triangle underwent earth-shattering changes. In just 3 years it is no longer a backward and barren mountainous area as before. Now that the anti-Japanese war has ended, World War II has come to a complete end. As a traveler, Su Tian knew about the historical development that followed, so he also prepared to escape to the Golden Triangle and become the king. He doesn't want to go to war with his own people. I don't even want the difficult decade ahead. Ha! Su Tian took a deep breath and murmured, "It's time to leave." It is now October 6, 1945. According to Su Tian's understanding, the bosses of the 8th Route Army are negotiating with Bald Head in Shanxing. It is estimated that a so-called ceasefire agreement will be issued in a few days, but this is of no use at all, because having a bald head doesn't guarantee credibility. Before this, there were many frictions and battles between the Bald troops and the 8th Route Army. Fighting with roommates has already occurred. Su Tian doesn't want to stay in Yunnan province anymore. Doodle at that moment, a knock on the door rang out. Su Tian withdrew his thoughts and said, "Come in." Not for a while. A middle-aged man in military uniform walked in. He is Lu Han, who has just been promoted to the position of provincial chairman and is in charge of all the armed forces in Yunnan province. Lu Han walked in and chuckled, "Ha ha ha, Senior Su, what are you busy with? Keep the door closed in broad daylight." Although Su Tian was only a division commander, his influence in the Yunnan army was very significant, and his performance in the anti-Japanese and expeditionary battlefields was also outstanding. His military achievements were remarkable, so he was appreciated by Lu Han. It has to be said that Lu Han is a talented general. Born on February 6, 1895, in Zhongzhai, Yenshan Township, Jiaodong City, in the Jidi family of eight slave owners, Lu Han, Long Yun, and Zhou Ruoheng went out to purchase wood, but later the raft was damaged and the goods sank, drowning more than 20 people. They had to go to Sichuan province to find another way out. In 1914, after graduating from the Army Military Academy in Yunnan province, Lu Han served successively as platoon leader, company commander, battalion commander, regiment leader, brigade commander, division commander, etc. The War of Resistance against Japan broke out, and bald-headed Lu Han was appointed as the commander of the 60th Army. He led his troops to participate in famous battles such as Taierswang, and was promoted to the position of commander of the army, deputy commander and commander-in-chief of the group army, and commander-in-chief of the First Front Army. After the surrender of the Little Devils, Lu Han led his troops to Annam to surrender. Later, in October 1945, Lu Han was promoted to the position of chairman and security commander of Yunnan province. Su Tian stood up and looked at Lu Han, saying, "Commander-in-chief, I don't know why you're here for so long." Lu Han smiled and said, "Captain Su, I came to tell you some good news. I plan to form a new army based on your 58th Division. You will serve as the commander of the new army." What? Upon hearing these words, Su Tian felt a thump in his heart. Good guy, I'm about to run away. Are you promoting me to become a military commander now? Not to mention the military commander, he was given a provincial chairman and commander-in-chief, and Su Tian had no intention of staying. Su Tian. Commander-in-Chief, you really look up to me, Su. My abilities are not enough to become a military commander. Please find another expert, Commander-in-Chief. Lu Han. Commander Su is humble. Your abilities are well known among everyone in the Yunnan army. When you were in Burma, you led the 58th Division to completely annihilate the 2 divisions of the Little Devils, establishing the reputation of our Yunnan army and achieving the greatest victory of the Expeditionary Force. This is simply an incredible victory. If you don't have the ability to become a military commander, who has that ability? In the expedition, Su Tian's 58th Division performed quite well, and the biggest battle was still the Battle of Songshan. In the Battle of Songshan, the 58th Division completely annihilated 2 Japanese divisions at the lowest cost, shocking the whole country. The bold leader personally issued a commendation order, and the commander of the 8th Route Army published congratulatory articles. This is definitely an incredible battle. In this battle, Su Tian established his position in the Yunnan army. It is worth mentioning that the Expeditionary Force used American equipment, and the logistics of Great Britain with sufficient ammunition and logistical support. Su Tian trained the 58th Division into a powerful force. Relying solely on the 58th Division to deal with the 2 divisions of 2 Little Devils is not enough, it requires paying a very high and tragic price. But don't forget that Su Tian also has the Red Alert base system. The reason why the 58th Division was able to completely annihilate 2 Japanese divisions was also because Su Tian mobilized private troops from the Red Police base located in the Golden Triangle to support and participate in the war, relying on strong strength to eat up the 2 Japanese divisions. After the arrival of the main force, the 58th Division had already cleaned up the battlefield, and Su Tian's private forces had already retreated. So the outside world thinks that the 58th Division ate 2 Japanese divisions. And it comes at a very small cost. For this battle, Lu Han was quite shocked and admired. P.S. Old War New Book. The previous Golden Triangle was written too conservatively, too afraid of hands and feet. This won't happen anymore. It's absolutely exciting and thrilling, dominating Southeast Asia. New book upload. Kneel down for support, ask for a flower, a review ticket, a monthly pass, a broken egg reward, and if there are any updates, keep your promises. Chapter 4. The True King of the Golden Triangle returns. Red Alert. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Regarding Lu Han's appointment of himself as the military commander, Su Tian hesitated for a moment and said, "Commander-in-Chief, let me think about it." Lu Han didn't take it seriously and said with a smile, "Ha ha ha, others are all hoping for promotion and wealth. Now that you are appointed as the commander of the army, you are actually pushing around. Okay, I'll give you a few days to think about it." Su Tian. Commander Xie. Lu Han looked at Su Tian and said, "Su Tian, I have great confidence in you. Given time, your achievements and status will never be low." Su Tian respectfully said, "Thank you, Commander-in-Chief, for your cultivation." After chatting for a moment, Lu Han left. For anti-Japanese heroes like Lu Han, it feels great for Su Tian to fight alongside him, and in the future, Lu Han also chose the right path. It can also be considered a very good destination. The current problem is if the 58th Division expands into a single army, it will be even more unfavorable for Su Tian's departure. After all, with the expansion of the military, there are too many people and eyes mixed, and the composition is very complex, which is not conducive to taking them all away. The Little Devils have all been killed, the anti-Japanese war is over, and it's time to leave. With this in mind, Su Tian decided to leave Yunnan province as soon as possible. At present, Su Tian called his deputy Zhou Zicheng to the office and said, "Chong, prepare immediately. Tonight, we will leave Yunnan province overnight and head to the Golden Triangle." At present, the entire 58th Division can be considered as Su Tian's private unit. It's not even easy for Commander Lu Han to come. Because most of this division is composed of Red Alert soldiers from the Red Alert base. These Red Alert soldiers are no different from ordinary people, but they have strengthened their combat effectiveness, physical fitness, and military literacy. Except for the Red Alert soldiers, the remaining 58th Division soldiers have long been trained by Su Tian to become confidants. They are all our own people. This is also Su Tian's own army. So this time Su Tian went to the Golden Triangle not alone, but with a total of 30,000 troops from the 58th Division. Zhou Zicheng responded in a loud voice, yes. Subsequently, the headquarters of the 58th Division began to pack up, while the main force of the 58th Division deployed near the border was also preparing to withdraw from Yunnan Province and head to the Golden Triangle. All of this is happening in secret. At night, Su Tianli took a sedan and led the people of the 58th Division headquarters to leave. Although passing through levels along the way, relying on Su Tian's position in the Yunnan army, this has been passed very easily and without any doubt. After all, no one expected that Su Tian would take the entire 58th Division to the Golden Triangle. 4 hours later, Su Tian led the 58th Division to successfully cross the border and headed directly towards the Golden Triangle. 1 hour. The Golden Triangle has also arranged for troops to come and greet their true commanders, the true king of the Golden Triangle. Perhaps Lu Han never expected that the entire 58th Division would disappear. After a long day's journey, Su Tian finally returned to the Golden Triangle. The true king of the Golden Triangle has returned. P.S. Old War New Book. The previous Golden Triangle was written too conservatively, too afraid of hands and feet. This won't happen anymore. It's absolutely exciting and thrilling, dominating Southeast Asia. New book upload, kneeling down for all data support. Gratitude. Seeking a flower, an evaluation ticket, a monthly pass, a broken egg as a reward if there is an outbreak of updates. Do what you say. Did Shinhao give a 100 VIP break egg reward? Kneel down and beg. Chapter 5. Scale of Red Alert Base. The Golden Triangle is tumultuous. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After a long night's journey, Su Tian led the generals of the 58th Division to finally return to the Golden Triangle. Since Su Tian began developing the Red Police Base in the Golden Triangle in 1943, the Golden Triangle has undergone earth-shattering changes. It is no longer a remote and backward mountainous area before, but has developed into a very prosperous place. In this World War II, it can be called a paradise. Relying on the Red Alert base system, Su Tian first unified the Golden Triangle and wiped out all other forces in the Golden Triangle. This is not a big problem. After unifying the Golden Triangle, Su Tianli issued orders to prohibit opium cultivation and began building a Red Alert base. After 2 years of development, the Golden Triangle has established a mature Red Alert base, consisting of a headquarters, military factory, military academy, barracks, maintenance plant, research center, Air Force base, smelter, refinery, granary, machine gun bunker, trench, military supply center, and more. These institutions, like the Red Alert game, have levels. The headquarters is the core of the entire base. The higher the level of the headquarters, the more other buildings can be built and the higher the level. Now Su Tian's level at the Red Alert base in the Golden Triangle is not low. Military factories. Through military factories, research and manufacturing of military branches can be carried out. Officers can be recruited and trained through military academies. Barracks affect the storage limit of troops, and it is possible to deploy troops through barracks. Currently, the number of Red Police soldiers in the Red Police base in the Golden Triangle has exceeded 300,000. This military strength is definitely not small. A research center is a place for conducting military technology research. Upgrading can lead to research on new military technologies. The level of technology shall not be higher than that of research centers. In addition, as the level increases, the amount of steel obtained and the storage limit will also increase. When the upper limit of available storage is insufficient, the smelter cannot continue to produce steel. The granary also increases the food and storage limit as the level increases. Trenches and machine gun bunkers are both defensive works responsible for protecting the safety of the Golden Triangle, while the military supplies department is the material supply center. Anyway, Su Tian's Red Alert base in the Golden Triangle is quite well established. At present, the total population of the Golden Triangle has reached over 2 million. Some are ordinary people who have exploded from the Red Alert base, some are former indigenous residents, and there are also refugees who have fled the war and arrived in the Golden Triangle, jointly building the current Golden Triangle ecosystem. With the stable development of the Golden Triangle, the various economies of the Golden Triangle have also gradually developed. Heavy industries such as ironmaking, steelmaking, industrial processing products, mining, and machinery manufacturing have developed one after another, while light industries such as food, building materials, processing, and daily chemical products have also flourished. Of course, the Golden Triangle is located in a remote area, and many industrial equipment naturally comes from the Red Alert base system. After all, to build a Red Police base, the economic foundation is indispensable. That is to say, the current Golden Triangle has developed into an economically developed and militarily strong region. At the same time, in order to develop and drive the economy of the Golden Triangle, Su Tian also carried out large-scale infrastructure construction, changing the inconvenient and backward transportation situation in the Golden Triangle. Subsequently, the infrastructure maniac emerged. The Golden Triangle is filled with mountains everywhere. Then we will open mountains and build roads, continuously building infrastructure projects such as highways, railways, power stations, dams, bridges, etc. Splitting mountains and building bridges when encountering water. Therefore, the current Golden Triangle is no longer a remote and backward destination. Infrastructure has naturally driven the economic development of the Golden Triangle, which has strengthened the strength of the Red Police base. At the same time, the construction of the Golden Triangle has developed supporting facilities such as banks, schools, hospitals, parks, etc. All economic systems, supporting systems, and related institutions are in place, transforming the Golden Triangle into an independent kingdom. The local people are also living and working in peace and contentment. Su Tianzi is the only king of the independent kingdom of the Golden Triangle. After returning to the Golden Triangle, a man dressed in military green uniforms came to Su Tian and saluted, saying, "Commander, you have finally returned." P.S. Old War New Book. The previous Golden Triangle was written too conservatively, too afraid of hands and feet. This won't happen anymore. It's absolutely exciting and thrilling, dominating Southeast Asia. New book upload, kneeling down for a flower, an evaluation ticket, a monthly pass, a broken egg reward. If there are any updates, it will be even more explosive. Just keep it to yourself. Do you have supportive parents of clothing, food, and clothing readers? 10 more explosive. Chapter 6. Disappearing 58th Division. 300,000 in the Golden Triangle. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This man's name is Qi Hong and he is Su Tian's agent in the Golden Triangle. Because Su Tian has been serving as the commander of the Yunnan army to fight against the Japanese for the past 2 years, it is impossible for him to stay in the Golden Triangle all the time. Therefore, he entrusted Qi Hong to manage and develop the Golden Triangle. Qi Hong is a talented general who emerged from Su Tian's Red Alert base, and his loyalty and ability are beyond doubt. Otherwise, the entire Golden Triangle wouldn't have been arranged in a neat and orderly manner. Su Tian nodded slightly and said, "Qi Hong, the development of the Golden Triangle has been good in the past 2 years." Qi Hong said, "This is all thanks to the guidance and leadership of the commander." "Commander, why don't you go rest for a long journey overnight?" Su Tian nodded and then went down to rest. After resting well, let's delve deeper into the situation of the Golden Triangle. As for the domestic situation, it's not Su Tian's turn to worry. He is no longer a part of the Yunnan army. Yunnan Province. Office of the Provincial Chairman. The deputy quickly ran in and said, "Provincial Chairman, the 58th Division has disappeared." Upon hearing this, Lu Han suddenly sat up from his seat and was stunned and asked incredulously, "What do you mean? The 58th Division has disappeared?" How could a teacher with over 30,000 people suddenly disappear in place? Adjutant. Yes. The 58th Division's barracks and headquarters are all empty, and the division commander Su Tian is also nowhere to be found. According to the frontline checkpoint, the last time I saw Captain Su was at the Yulong checkpoint. At that time, Captain Su was sitting in a sedan, following several military trucks, and passed through the Yulong checkpoint without any further news. Lu Han was stunned and murmured, "I'm so good. Didn't I just make you a military commander? Why did you run away? Find immediately. I don't believe that the entire 58th Division has evaporated from the human world." Adjutant. Yes. If it were still during the anti-Japanese period, Lu Han would have thought that Su Tian was going to defect to the enemy with the 58th Division. But now that the anti-Japanese war has ended, Lu Han doesn't even know why Su Tian disappeared with the 58th Division. Actually, this is a very correct decision made by Su Tian. The departure of Su Tian and the 58th Division was a significant loss for the Lu Han and Yunnan armies, as well as the entire bald-headed army. Because even the combat effectiveness of the legitimate forces of the Central Army is not a match for the 58th Division. If Su Tian, who is carrying the Red Alert base system, continues to lead the 58th Division to fight for the bald head in the world, the development of the war and historical rings may not be certain. Golden Triangle. After a good rest, Su Tian immediately gathered the entire army in the military camp. With a single command. All 300,000 soldiers gathered at the military training ground of the Red Police Base. The 300,000 strong army of the Red Police Base basically includes most of the branches of the Red Police, including infantry, engineers, paratroopers, tank soldiers, cavalry, special forces, pilots, logistics soldiers, and so on, which can be said to have everything. At present, among the 300,000 strong army, infantry is the main force, with a total of 250,000 types of army infantry, followed by the Air Force of approximately 30,000, the Navy of 5,000, and logistics personnel of 15,000. There's no way. The Golden Triangle does not rely on the sea, only the Mekong River, so even with the Red Alert base system, it's not possible to develop a navy. But Su Tian made long-term considerations and layout, and still established a naval force. Among these 5,000 naval units, there are also the Navy SEALs capable of amphibious combat, capable of placing bombs on buildings on the ground or on ships in water. In addition to this ability, there is also a powerful anti-infantry capability that can play a significant role no matter where it is deployed. However, the Navy SEALs, which are equipped with tanks, and other vehicles, are not as good as conventional infantry. Su Tian looked at the 300,000 strong army in front of him and nodded slightly, saying, "Soldiers, please allow me to introduce myself again. My name is Su Tian, and I am your highest commander." P.S. Old War New Book. The previous Golden Triangle was written too conservatively, too afraid of hands and feet. This won't happen anymore. It's absolutely exciting and thrilling, dominating Southeast Asia. New book upload, kneeling down for a flower, an evaluation ticket, a monthly pass, a broken egg reward. If there are any updates, it will be even more explosive. Just keep it to yourself. Do you have supportive parents of clothing, food, and clothing readers? Chapter 7. The Golden Triangle as the King of Mountains. Reorganize the Sioux Family Army. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hello, Commander. 300,000 people present responded in unison, their voices shaking and their momentum like a rainbow. Su Tian is very satisfied with such a troop. Every soldier of the 300,000 strong army standing in Su Tian is proud and full of heroic spirit. Each soldier who exploded from the Red Alert base system reached the level of a veteran, and was equipped with a Type 56 automatic rifle and a Type 54 pistol as a secondary weapon. In addition, there are combat uniforms, including tactical vests, carrying equipment, and grenades and other equipment. It can be said that the combat effectiveness of this 300,000-strong army is definitely not inferior. Although equipped with a Type 56 automatic rifle as standard, but there is no need to worry about logistics and ammunition issues, as the Red Police base in the Golden Triangle is sufficient to provide logistical support for 300,000 troops. However, once the troops continue to expand, this Red Police base will not be able to withstand it. Next, Su Tian began to inspect the base troops. As a fully equipped unit, infantry is the main force, followed by cavalry, tank soldiers, engineers, and so on. The tanks are mainly Type 59 tanks. The total combat weight of the Type 59 tank reached 36 tons, with 4 tank soldiers and a maximum speed of 50 km per hour and a maximum range of 560 km. Its main weapon is a 100 mm rifled gun with a combat firing rate of 7 rounds per minute. In addition, there is one 12.7 mm anti-aircraft machine gun and two 7.62 mm machine guns, equipped with an infrared night vision device for night driving. It is worth mentioning that the armor on the front and sides of the Type 59 tank body is relatively thick, and the turret is designed in a streamlined manner, thus possessing good ballistic resistance. Overall, the Type 59 tank was definitely at the leading level in 1945. It has strong firepower attack capability, while also having excellent armor protection and mobility performance. It is lightweight and suitable for use in various terrains. The overall tank structure is simple, reliable in operation, and easy to use and maintain. As for the Air Force, the Red Alert base currently mainly has one type of fighter jet. The fighter jet is mainly the J.5 fighter jet, codenamed J-5. The J-5 fighter jet is a single-seat, single-engine nose intake, swept-back mid-wing high subsonic jet fighter that uses a turbojet 5 centrifugal afterburner turbojet engine. It has a length of 11.68 meters, a wingspan of 9.6 meters, a height of 3.8 meters, an empty weight of 3,939 kilograms, a maximum flight speed of 1,145 kilometers per hour, and a maximum range of 2,020 kilometers. The J-5 fighter jet is equipped with two 23mm machine guns on the lower left side of the nose, and a 37mm machine gun on the lower right side of the nose. The ammunition reserve is 200 rounds. The aircraft is equipped with optical semi-automatic sights, 2 camera guns, and a bomb weighing 100.250 kilograms can be hung under the left and right wings. It is worth mentioning that the J-5 fighter jet has an all-metal structure, small size, light weight, and good low-altitude maneuverability, which is very excellent. It's already 1945 now, and jet fighters have already emerged. Countries are also developing jet fighters, but the performance and strength of the J-5 fighter jet are definitely among the top in the world. As for artillery and the like, they are all very advanced. It can be said that the strength of the Golden Triangle Red Police base is quite strong. After inspecting the entire army, Su Tian was very satisfied. Next, Su Tian reorganized the troops of the Golden Triangle Red Police base into the Su family army. The Su family army has 4 major armies under its jurisdiction. The Air Force, Navy, Army, Rocket Force, as well as logistics departments and so on. The overall structure of the army has been further improved. The Red Alert base in the Golden Triangle has been built very well. If Su Tian stayed in the Golden Triangle, he could have become a mountain king. Neither Myanmar, Siam, nor Laos can control Su Tian at all. But this is not Su Tian's goal. The time came to October 10, 1945. Su Tian sat inside the headquarters of the Red Police base, reading the newspaper. Bald Head and 8th Route Army jointly declared the Double 10th Agreement. P.S. Old War New Book. The previous Golden Triangle was written too conservatively, too afraid of hands and feet. This won't happen anymore. It's absolutely exciting and thrilling, dominating Southeast Asia. New book upload, kneeling down for a flower, an evaluation ticket, a monthly pass, a broken egg reward. If there are any updates, it will be even more explosive. Just keep it to yourself. Do you have supportive parents of clothing, food, and clothing readers. Have you noticed? I'm only writing about domestically produced weapons, not AK-47, T-34 tanks, etc., but about Type 56 assault automatic rifles, Type 59 tanks, etc. Do you want all domestically produced weapons? Chapter 8. System Tasks. Upgrade Rewards. Expand the Army. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The joint statement of Bald Head and 8th Root Army issued the Double 10th Agreement Peaceful Discussions on National Affairs. After reading the newspaper, Su Tian smiled slightly at the corner of his mouth and murmured, "Indeed, it follows the historical plot." Fortunately, I walked fast. It is worth mentioning that so far, Lu Han did not know that all the 58th Division of the Yunnan Army had reached the Golden Triangle. As soon as Su Tian put down the newspaper, the sound of a system prompt came to his mind. System Task. Expand the military to 500,000 by January 1, 1946, and the population of the Golden Triangle Red Police Base will develop to 3 million, resulting in a 30% economic growth. System Rewards. 1 Mechanized Infantry Division, 1 Gold Mine, 1 Oil Well, and 50 J-5 fighter jets. The headquarters reaches level 8, and the commander's various abilities reach level 10. Friendly reminder. The Mechanized Infantry Division includes 30,000 Red Alert infantry, as well as tank and armored units. There are 100 tons of gold in the gold mine, and 50 million tons of oil in the oil well. The higher the level of the headquarters, the more other buildings can be built, and the higher the level, the higher the commander's level, the stronger their own abilities and the more resources they can mobilize. Because the Red Alert Base Command currently only has a level 10 headquarters, there are relatively few barracks, military factories, military academies, smelters, and so on that can be built, which can only meet the needs of 300,000 people. If you want to continue to grow and strengthen, you must elevate the level of the headquarters and commanders. Commander Su Tian's previous ability was only level 8, and his command ability, self-ability, and strategic ability can reach the level of a commander. Only through continuous upgrading can he command larger troops and larger battles. Therefore, Su Tian must upgrade. The rewards for this mission are still very rich. It is now October 1945, and it will only take 2 months to complete this task. We must accelerate the timeline. If the task is completed, it will definitely be beneficial for strengthening the Red Police Base in the Golden Triangle and enhancing the strength of the Su family army. Gold mines. This can solve the problem of military expenses. Oil well. Resolve the military fuel issue. Mechanized Infantry Division and J-5 fighter. This can enhance the combat effectiveness of the Su family army. At this moment, several key members of the Su family army walked into the office of the base headquarters. These people are Air Force Commander Li Changkong, Army Commander Lu Zhanshan, Navy Commander Mo Hai, Chief of General Staff Chi Hong, Deputy Commander-in-Chief Xiao Chongming, Military and Political Minister Han Jintian, and others. Seeing everyone walking in, Su Tian couldn't help but speak up, "Everyone, what's up?" Everyone looked at each other, and the Minister of War and Political Affairs, Han Zhen, took a step forward and said, "Commander, we are here to ask you to expand our territory in strength. At present, our Su family army has already taken control of the Golden Triangle. But the territory of the Golden Triangle is still too small. If we stay here for a long time, it will be a bit of a waste of talent. Now that the war of resistance against Japan has ended, the whole of Southeast Asia is very turbulent and uneasy. I think this is a good opportunity for us to expand our territory and strength." Su Tian looked around the crowd and sighed inwardly, "Wow, it seems that these people are not only passionate but also trying to expand their territory. It's exactly what I want. Shared aspirations." Su Tian looked at everyone present and said, "I understand your thoughts. To be honest, I also want to expand our territory. But now is not the time. It is October 10, 1945. In order to expand our territory, we must enhance our own strength. So it is necessary to expand the military to 500,000, develop the population of the Golden Triangle to 3 million, and increase the economy by 30% before January 1, 1946. If this goal can be achieved within 2 months, I have confidence in expanding outward. P.S. Old War New Book. The previous Golden Triangle was written too conservatively, too afraid of hands and feet. This won't happen anymore. It's absolutely exciting and thrilling, dominating Southeast Asia. New book upload, kneeling down for a flower, an evaluation ticket, a monthly pass, a broken egg reward. If there are any updates, it will be even more explosive. Just keep it to yourself. Do you have supportive parents of clothing, food, and clothing readers? Chapter 9. Development Plan. Expand. 9th update. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Kneeling down for a 100 VIP reward equals. Everyone felt a bit stressed upon hearing this. After all, in 2 months, the army expanded by 3 million, the population increased by 1 million, and economic development improved by 30%. This difficulty is not small. Su Tian looked at the crowd and said, "War is all about economic and military strength. If we can't improve our own strength, how can we expand outward?" Han Zhentian said, "The commander is right. I agree with the commander's proposal." Air Force Commander Li Chongkong said, "We are starting to develop our Air Force now. We want to build the strongest Air Force." Army Commander Lu Zhanshan said, "Commander, leave the matter of expanding the army to us. We will definitely recruit troops and buy horses as soon as possible." Chief of the General Staff Chi Hong said, "We need to develop in multiple aspects and quickly enhance our own strength." Deputy Commander-in-Chief Xiao Chongming looked at Su Tian and said, "Commander, if we want to expand outward, or if we want to develop outward, it is estimated that our Golden Triangle, this paradise, will be known to the outside world." Su Tian waved his hand and said, "It's okay. I used to secretly build military bases in the Golden Triangle to resist Japan and fight against the Japanese, just to leave a way out now. Now that the anti-Japanese war is over and everything is fearless, we no longer need to develop secretly. What we need to do now is to become bigger, stronger, and create brilliance again." Zhao Chongming. "Understood, Commander." Subsequently, Su Tian held military and economic conferences with the aim of accelerating the economic and military development of the Golden Triangle region and completing the tasks of the Red Police base system. After several consecutive meetings, Su Tian finally had time to think about the next developments. Within the headquarters office, Su Tian spread out the map of Southeast Asia, looked at the various powers and colonial powers around the Golden Triangle, and began to analyze and lay out. Currently, Su Tian has a well-established and powerful Red Alert base in the Golden Triangle, but due to level and resource constraints, it can only meet the logistical support and resource supply of around 300,000 Red Alert soldiers. In order to expand the territory, Su Tian naturally wanted to strengthen the strength of the Su family army, enhance the Red Alert base, and elevate the level of the commander and headquarters. According to Su Tian's idea, as the commander of the Red Police base, he wants to build Red Police bases around the world. In other words, the place where there is a Red Alert base is Su Tian's territory. But now the Su family army still needs to gather strength and energy. After all, although the Soviet army of 300,000 is very strong, it is still not capable of dealing with countries such as Great Britain and Eagle Sauce. After all, Su Tian has only 300,000 troops. It's impossible to miss all of them, right? If Su Tian wanted to expand beyond the Golden Triangle, he would first face the countries of Gaul, Great Britain, and Siam. Because the colonizers of Laos were from Gaul. The colonizer of Myanmar is Great Britain. Only Siam maintains its independence. Among the 3 countries, the weakest is Siam, followed by Gaul, and the strongest is Great Britain. Although Gaul was quickly defeated and surrendered by the Germanic Empire during World War II, losing its colonial power in Southeast Asia, Gaul is still an old capitalist country with a solid foundation. As for Great Britain, let alone although performing average in World War II, their strength was not weak. The weakest country is naturally Siam. If Su Tian wants to develop in Southeast Asia, he naturally cannot avoid conflicts with countries such as Great Britain and Eagle Sauce. Therefore, Su Tian has never set his goal on these weak countries in Southeast Asia, but on Great Britain and other powerful countries such as Eagle Sauce and Gaul. Therefore, according to Su Tian's plan, in order to expand the territory, the first thing to deal with is the kingdom of Siam. Persimmons need to be picked and squeezed soft. So after the military and economic strength improved, Su Tian decided to take action against Siam first. He doesn't like human demons. In the following time, under the leadership of Su Tian, the Golden Triangle began to rapidly develop its economy and military. PS. It's the 9th update. I'm going to make a burst of 10 updates, please ask for data. Old War New Book. The previous Golden Triangle was written too conservatively, too afraid of hands and feet. This won't happen anymore. It's absolutely exciting and thrilling, dominating Southeast Asia. New book upload, kneeling down on the first day to beg for a flower, an evaluation ticket, a monthly pass, and a broken egg reward. Kneel down and beg for a 100 VIP reward. Do you have it? If there are any updates, it will be even more explosive. Just keep it to yourself. Chapter 10. Task completed. Complete the expansion within 2 months. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It is now October 1945. There is less than 2 months left for Su Tian. In order to complete the mission of the Red Police Base, Su Tian began a rapid expansion of the Su family army, striving to expand by 200,000 by 1946. It is worth mentioning that the Golden Triangle currently has a population of 2 million. Except for a small portion of the indigenous population, the majority of these populations have migrated due to war and turmoil. With such a long journey and the ravages of war, the majority of people who can migrate to the Golden Triangle region are young and middle-aged. This means that if the Su family army wants to expand, there will still be troops available. Secondly, after the expedition ended, many combat troops were preparing to return home. However, some troops have lost confidence in the bald government and do not want to return to their home country to sacrifice their lives for him, so they have been stranded overseas. In this way, these friendly troops will also become members of the Su family army. After all, they naturally heard of Su Tian's reputation during their expeditions and battles. This is a great general of the Expeditionary Force who makes the little devils tremble with fear. Renowned. The legend and achievements of Su Tian are circulating among the expeditionary forces. In the continuous recruitment and expansion of troops, the Su family army was also rapidly expanding and developing. Just by December 10, 1945, the number of troops in the Su family army had expanded to 500,000. We have completely achieved the system's goals. As for the population aspect of the Golden Triangle, Su Tian and the policies of the Ministry of Economic Affairs, the Ministry of Population, and others are to attract traffic siphon population from Yunnan province and around the Golden Triangle. But I want to attract over 1 million people within 2 months. This is not an easy and simple thing either. In order to achieve this goal, Su Tian and his team have also put in a lot of effort and tried every means possible. For example, arranging work, solving food and clothing issues, and addressing housing issues. These are all very tempting. You should know. The entire Southeast Asia has been looted by the little devils, leaving many refugees homeless. The Golden Triangle is a good choice and destination for them. At the same time, Su Tian called on local residents of the Golden Triangle to contact their relatives, friends, and others to settle in the Golden Triangle, so there are rewards. This move is quite effective. Because local residents have lived in the Golden Triangle for a period of time and have the right to speak, they understand the situation in the Golden Triangle. In addition, they also invite family and friends, which has a certain trust foundation, so they can quickly attract people. After some twists and turns, the population of the Golden Triangle finally completed the systematic task of increasing 1 million people on December 28, 1945. As for the economic aspect, Su Tian also completed the task as scheduled. Because Su Tian continuously utilizes infrastructure to drive economic development and ensure that the people of the Golden Triangle can have food to eat and earn money, after all, so many people have flooded into the Golden Triangle. Meanwhile, with the continuous influx of population, the economy will naturally increase rapidly. In this way, Su Tian also completed the task of 30% economic growth before January 1, 1946. In 1946. January 1. Red Alert Base, Headquarters Office. Su Tian heard the system prompt sound a ding-dong. Congratulations to the commander for winning the Red Alert Base System reward, obtain a mechanized infantry division, 1 gold mine, 1 oil well, and 50 J-5 fighter jets, with a command level of 8 and a commander level of 10. P.S. The 10th update. To be honest, each chapter is very long, laughing and crying, but I have also worked hard to update 10 chapters. But the data is also too poor. There are no flowers. Kneeling down for data support. New book upload, kneeling down on the first day to beg for a flower, an evaluation ticket, a monthly pass, and a broken egg reward. Kneel down and beg for a 100 VIP reward. Do you have it? If there are any updates, continue to explode.